it's Vanessa the Crafty Gemini. I post weekly how-to video tutorials right here on my YouTube channel, and in this video I'm teaching you how to make a quick and inexpensive raised garden bed. So let's start with the supplies that we're going to need. A real simple project. I purchased two 2x8x8. They come 8 feet long. I went to my local Home Depot and I asked them to cut them in half for me, or just two 4-foot lengths. We're going to make one 4-foot by 4-foot square raised garden bed. So with the two boards, we end up with 4 pieces that are 4 foot long, right? So we got these cut to 4-foot lengths. Then the only other thing you need is some scrap pieces of 2x4s, and these I already had on hand. You can purchase a separate full 2x4 board and get them to cut it down to size for you. I cut these at home. That you need to cut these at is basically the width of your board. I measured mine across this way. It measured about 7 3/8 inches, and so I just cut my 2x4s to that. And so you're going to need 4 pieces of those measurements. So aside from the wood boards, we're going to need some other basic woodworking supplies like a cordless drill, and then the screws that we're using here, I have 2.5-inch long. They're outdoor wood, outdoor deck screws and things like that. I got them at the 2.5-inch length because that's what I had on hand. You can go with the 3-inch ones. You just want to make sure that it's reaching all the way through both boards that you're screwing into, okay? But these are the ones that I prefer to use for these type of projects because instead of having just a regular Phillips head, they have a star tip or a star head on them. So what I like about this little box is that it comes with the little bit that you need, and I find that these with the little star head, they don't strip out as easily. So they're easy to put in the wood and to reverse them if you have to. So let's talk a little bit about the wood that I'm using for the raised beds. We've gone here with 2x8s that are completely untreated pine wood. This is the cheapest wood that I can get, and this is going to be a really inexpensive way to make a raised bed if you actually have to go out and buy the wood. One problem that I have with using recycled materials and things is I don't really know if the stuff is treated or not. The label's not on it, right? And so it's hard for me to gauge. So I'd rather just go out and buy something that I know is completely untreated. I don't want any chemicals making contact with the soil that I'm using to raise my food. So we've gone with pine. Because it's untreated, it will deteriorate over time, and the amount of time is just going to depend. We built a chicken coop. We've had it up for about 2 years, and it still looks great. It's not painted, not sealed, and we also used untreated wood. I have friends that make their garden beds using untreated wood. Some say it lasted them 2 years, some 5 years, some are going on 7 years, so it just depends. For me, it's really inexpensive, and I think it's worth it to have the peace of mind that I know there's no chemicals going into what I'm using to feed my kids, right? Now, our soil is really great here. We just have a problem with the drainage, and that's why I've decided to create a few raised beds to give it a try. And what this is going to do is allow me to fill this up with some really good organic matter, some composted cow manure and things, but I'm still going to incorporate some of the soil that we have here because it's really great soil. If you want your raised beds to be a little bit taller, you can even double deck these up like this, one on top of the other, right, to give yourself a higher. This is going to be about 15 inches if you did it that way, and so you would just double the amount of wood that you're using in this project. You can also do something that you'd still get about the same height as these using some 2x4s, which is what I recently did to make 2 raised beds. I hit up the clearance rack or the clearance section there at my local Home Depot, and they had some defective wood, you know, things that have like splits and a little bit of cracks in them, and I have no problem using that type of wood for this kind of project since, again, I said it's going to deteriorate anyways, right? I was able to get 10 2x4s for less than 12 bucks, so it was really inexpensive and they worked out great. The 2x4s though, the width is only this high, so this is kind of low for a raised bed, and so what I did was I stacked them up, and as you can see, I end up getting the same height that I am getting with these 2x8s. So look around, see whatever you can get for the cheapest price, and just work around with the wood that you can get your hands on to create the height that you need for your raised bed. So the 4 scrap pieces that we cut to the same width of our boards, we are going to get one on each end of just 2 of the boards. So 2 should be just plain like they are, and these 2 should have one of these little things on each end, just like this. Make it flush here, and flush with this edge, just like that. Then I'm going to hold it in place and pre-drill my holes. You can put them anywhere here. So these are the ones that I prefer to use. You see the little star thing? They don't strip as easily, so they work out great. And we're going to screw these into place. And I find that pulsing it and going slower works better than trying to go too fast. So that's nice and secure. And we'll repeat that to all the other 3 sides. So now that we've screwed the little end blocks onto 2 boards, we're ready to start assembling it into the square bed. So I'm just going to put this up this way. The opposite end is going to go like this, and we're going to put these 2 boards in the middle and screw them right in. Super easy. This probably won't stay up, but let me grab one of these. And I set it up so that these blocks are inside, okay? So this is how I line it up. This is the corner one that we screwed into the sides, and I'm going to get one of the ones that doesn't have anything attached to it, and I'm going to put it on the outside. So this is flush here, it's all flush on the sides, and the corner 2x4 that we screwed into the inside is going to be an inside post. This is going to help stabilize it. So here we go. You can do the same thing that we did before and pre-drill the holes in here, but this is a quick project, and like I said, the wood is going to deteriorate anyway, so if there's a little bit of cracking, I don't mind too bad. So now you can drill either into this one or into this one if you want. I just like to look in here and see where these 2 screws are so that I make sure that I don't drill right where that one is, right? So here we can go in the middle somewhere. And again, because I haven't pre-drilled the hole, I'm just going to go nice and slow, just pulsing it. Like that. And I like to put 2 on each side. So I just did that corner there. Now I'm going to come here. You can see it's nice and stable. Here's the other one. Bring it to the inside so this corner post is on the inside. Line up my outside parts here. And you may need to do this on a concrete surface or something level. I'm on my grass here. It's definitely not level, but it still works for me. I can still make it work. So I'm going to come around this side and drill this board into the little corner chunk here that I screwed in previously. And all I have left to do is to screw this one board in the same way we just did that one. So after we screwed in these 2 here, I went back on each corner and screwed one more screw in on this bit, and you can see that it fits right here where this wood is. So this one is going now through the end grain of this one, and it helps stabilize that corner a lot more as well. So here is our finished 4-foot by 4-foot raised garden bed. You can see I've made a few other ones. This was just using 2x4s that I stacked up, so they're about the same height as the one that we made today. This is a great beginner project. For the 2x4s, if you can get them really cheap, I just stacked one on top of the other, and it ends up being the same height as the 2x8s that we use for this project. I hope you give this project a try and that you enjoyed it. If you did, hit this video with a thumbs up below, share it across the different social media sites, and don't forget to click the subscribe button so you won't miss out on any of my future videos. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!